You are now listening to The Perfect Prana with Kyah Ann. What's poppin'? What's good? You're listening to The Perfect Prana Show on 88.1 FM WCRX. I'm your host, Kyah Ann, and a yoga enthusiast. If you love yoga, this is the perfect place to be. And if you do not love yoga, this is still the perfect place to be because I have the usual up for you today. Yoga news, where I speak about yoga controversies, what's going on in the yoga world, what's going on in the world, and how does it relate to yoga. Yoga Hills, where I bring on a very special guest and speak to them about their practice, and the weekly wellness challenge, which is pretty self-explanatory. But before we get into all of that, let's center ourselves. Let's take this moment to go inward, to focus on our breath, to focus on our prana. Prana translating to breath as in the breath of life, our life energy source. There's a lot of translations. So no matter where you're at, if you're driving in the car, laying in your bed, walking in the park, sitting on your porch, sitting on the couch. There's a lot of different options. Bring awareness to your entire body. Notice your breath. Notice the depth of your breath. Notice where your breath goes as you inhale and where you expel it from. Notice the air on your skin, on what's exposed. Notice how the cloth feels against your skin, the softness of it, the warmth. Notice all your senses. What do you feel? What do you taste? What do you hear? What do you see? What do you smell? Become present in the moment. And then sit up nice and tall, lengthen your spine. Create a nice line of energy from your tailbone to your crown so breath can effortlessly move through you. Take a deep inhale and shrug your shoulders all the way up to your ears. And as you exhale, drop your shoulders and sigh it out. Lifting your heart, opening up your chest. Soften your gaze maybe, or close your eyes. Drop all expression from your face. Relax your jaw, relax your eyebrows. And take a deep inhale through your nose, right into your belly. And exhale to sigh it out like Take a deep inhale through your nose, filling up all the way, letting the breath travel up your spine. Feeling stillness in your entire body, and exhale to sigh it out, letting the breath leave your chest, your rib cage, your belly, and push it all out, empty out completely. And take a deep inhale. Let the breath travel past your belly, past your rib cage, into your lungs. And exhale to sigh it out from your throat. Emptying your chest, emptying your belly. Take a nice smooth inhale and take an even longer exhale. And expel whatever you do not need. Bring your breath back to a steady rhythm. I am centered. Yoga news. This week's yoga news: surface warfare officer attempts to break world record running from Los Angeles to New York in 40 days. Lieutenant Paul Johnson, he is on active duty for the U.S. Navy. So he is a veteran, and he's working with this non-for-profit organization, Team Red, White, and Blue, and their mission is to help veterans be healthier and deal with the loneliness epidemic for veterans through physical activity and just, health practices. And Paul Johnson, he decided to run 3,000 miles to raise awareness and help raise money for this organization. like the other day, I spent my entire morning following this. I was looking at his videos on social media, reading up about it, and I was just really perplexed by the fact that he was doing this. It came up on my timeline and I was like, what? So, yeah, I was just, looking at it heavily. He's running through a lot of cities. He has his route posted, and there are people that, when he runs through their city, they go run with him. This is like a Forrest Gump moment, basically. But they go run with him. A lot of people bring him stuff, and he's just basically vlogging the entire journey. Okay, so why am I talking about this? This running. What does this have to do with yoga? Right? We'll make it relate. We'll make it tie in. But first of all, I was just interested in this. It came up on my feed the other day, and I did a deep dive into his story and to why he was doing this. And I'm looking at this non-for-profit Team Red, White, and Blue. So they are here to help veterans live a healthier lifestyle, focusing on mental and physical health for veterans. This show, the Perfect Prana Show, I'm here focusing on mental and physical health for everybody, and for myself, because everybody deserves good mental and physical health. And I wish everybody could have that. And I'm sure everybody wishes that they could have that themselves and for their loved ones and whatnot. Again, why am I talking about this? My hot take is that doing extreme challenges like these can at times be counterproductive to mental and physical health. And I think, like I said, he should do this. He's raising money, bringing awareness to his organization and his beliefs. That's great. But I'm just saying, for us normal people, sometimes counterproductive. Even with yoga, I've even realized we can go extreme with this. And I actually saw this post on Instagram the other day where, so there's this quote where it's yoga every damn day. I hope I can say that on the radio. And this post actually crossed that out. It was said something like yoga when you feel like it, or when it's good for you, or blah, blah. I can't remember exactly what it said, but I'm there. I used to, and I will say this. I do practice yoga every day. I'm going to do something every day, but that's from my understanding and way. Even if it's just 5 minutes, or I'm just going to get on my mat and do child's pose, or I'm just gonna stretch my hands up and focus on my breathing for the day. I'm just gonna sit there and breathe. Yoga every damn day. But one thing that I know that I'm not gonna do, and that's not conducive for good mental and physical health, is doing a yoga practice at the same intensity every single day. I know that I'm not going to practice inversions every single day. I'm not going to be trying to do a handstand every single day. I'm not going to be doing 10 sun salutations and getting super out of breath and just going crazy every single day. No, I'm not going to do that. Some days I have it. There's a lot of days that I have it. Some days I don't, though. Some days I do not have the energy for that. Things happening in my life. Some days I don't have the time for that. Some days I have to give my time to other areas in my life. My physical activity level is really important, but there's a lot of other important things in life too, and I have to recognize and be flexible and know when to and when not to. But again, there's a happy balance and a happy medium when it comes to that. So that's just what I wanted to say for that. But shout out to Paul Johnson. So far, what I've read, he is not going to make the full 3,000 miles in 40 days. He's already behind schedule, and he's definitely dealing with a lot of pain, and he's had some an injury so far, that he's, recovery issues, and he's had trouble getting in enough calories, and just a lot of stuff. Again, that's why I said sometimes doing extreme things like this is not conducive to mental or physical health, but I understand his sentiment and I'm there with him, and it's cool that he's doing this. But yeah, I hope that he finishes the full 3,000 miles, because I will say, when you do a challenge that is really challenging and even extreme and you finish it, that does boost confidence for a second. It makes you feel good about yourself. Dopamine, serotonin. You're like, wow, I'm powerful. I've done amazing things. But like I said, it never stops. The journey doesn't end. Once you get past that finish line, you still got to keep doing stuff. There is no end. So don't exhaust yourself on your journey. There's no need to, especially for us normies, as normal people. But right now, I have been tracking his run. He's currently in New Mexico, and he's on his 13th day, and he is going to pass through my hometown, St. Louis. So that's going to be cool. If you want to run with him, if you're a runner, go run with him, and then practice some yoga after. Yoga Hills. This week's guest, Julia Perkins. She is the owner and the founder of a Southside yoga studio, Studio Yogi. She has been practicing yoga for nearly 12 years, and she's all about making yoga accessible for every body. She has been serving Chicago, the community, and the world in many ways, and she still continues to do so. So let's get on with the interview. Hey, Julia, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. And yourself? Thank you for having me on the show, or podcast, as they would say.
I'm doing good too. I'm enjoying the weather. I officially claimed springtime, so I'm happy and blessed to be here. What I always start off asking my guest is, when did you start practicing yoga, and why do you still practice today?
Well, I started practicing about 16 years ago because it was around the time I was diagnosed with osteoarthritis. And I had been an avid racquetball player and bike rider, and there's a difference between a rider and a cyclist. I was a rider, but my knees were just not able to do what it used to do. And so I wanted to find a practice that would still be stimulating and that I could engage with. And I happened upon yoga.
Okay, and then why do you still practice yoga today?
Oh, I just love the yoga. It helps in terms of bringing kind of harmony and balance to my mind, body, and spirit. I like yoga because of the community it tends to engender. Just like today, I was in the studio, there was a group of us there for the 6 a.m. hot yoga class, and it was community. I mean, everyone knew one another. I think there was a new person there. We welcomed her with open arms. It was just really wonderful. It was a sense of community. So, for those reasons, I am wedded to yoga.
Yes. I guess my question for you is, you said that you started, practicing because you were dealing with this arthritis. Uh, so you could have just like done stretches or movements or physical therapy for arthritis. What's the difference between that and actually practicing yoga?
Well, I did go through physical therapy, as a matter of fact, and they just give you exercises to do to kind of help the situation, or at least not to make it worse. But yoga was a little different. I like movement, I like the flow. And so when I encountered yoga, especially vinyasa yoga, because that's what I'm certified in, that, the breath to movement was just very soothing. I was able to engage in it the way that I had engaged with, let's say, racquetball, for instance. They're different practices, right? Physical therapy is designed to help you navigate with whatever that limitation is. Yoga is not it's not designed that way per se. It's really to focus on for vinyasa, breath to movement, because there are different schools of yoga, and vinyasa is connected to Ashtanga and Iyengar yoga, which is all goes back to hatha yoga. So it was kind of that a movement that threads through, even though each of the styles are different.
There was one last question that I was going to ask you as you've opened your studio. Is there anything that has been a surprise or that you learned?
I'm constantly learning. So,
Right.
um, yeah, I think that there have been that not a because when you have studios, they're really kind of focused on a membership model. Not all people are membership kind of driven. And so we have an inordinate amount of drop-ins. That was a surprise to me. Based on their schedule, if you don't want to make the commitment or what have you, and that's fine. I mean, our drop-in fees are $12 a class. All of this, the fee structure was designed to make it accessible. So I guess one of the surprises was that we're not doing as many memberships as I would like, but that's not maybe the lifestyle of the residents in my community. And so you adapt to that.
Do you ever worry about making a profit and keeping your business going versus making yoga accessible to everybody?
Oh, that's a very good question. I mean, it becomes a strategic trade off. So eventually, I'm not making a profit now. I'm hoping that within the next year we will be profitable, but we just opened our doors. So it will take some time, I think, to, you know, have that awareness within the community that Studio Yogi is here in South Shore. It's here for you. Does it worry me? Again, I'll go back to my meditative state. I can't, if I focus on that worry, then I would be ineffective in terms of trying to establish Yogi's footprint within the community.
That's a part of yoga too, is sometimes just doing things for the love of it. And, maybe I'm not seeing the profit right away, or I'm seeing the end goal right away, but I
Well,
love
it's an
this.
investment. I mean, so sometimes
Yeah.
you have to give your investments a moment to grow.
Yeah, like sowing seeds, and that's beautiful.
Exactly.
So thank you so much for serving your community, just making yoga accessible for the South Side of Chicago, because we need people like you. So thank you so much.
Oh,
Um,
well, thank you so much for having me. I did want to mention, because I had mentioned to one of the yoga instructors at Studio Yogi, Alexis Dupree, because she also teaches at other studios around the city, that she did this really wonderful guide. It's Chicago Black Women's Yoga Instructor Guide. And so she put this guide together because she wanted to be able to kind of mobilize, um, Black women who are engaged in wellness, and particularly from yoga. Who are these instructors? Who are the Black owned studios in the city? And I think we only have 5. So it's a good resource. It's on my website, and it's also at littlespaceswellness.com too. So I wanted to kind of uplift that to your listening audience because I think it is a good resource.
yes, I'll make sure to put that in my show notes for sure.
Okay.
But thank you so much. Before we go, of course, I'm going to ask you just to lead us through a quick pranayama, your choice, your style, uh, whatever cues you would like to give.
Okay. So just take a moment where you are, find a comfortable seat, I invite you to close your eyes or maybe gaze at the floor and begin to listen to your normal rhythmic breath as you breathe in and as you let go. Start to notice how your belly swells, how your chest expands, your shoulders broaden on the inhale. And as you let go, your shoulders soften, your diaphragm, and then your belly. Take a moment and just give yourself a moment of grace as you draw your senses inward, being present, focusing on the beauty and majesty of your breath, on every inhalation and every exhalation. Maybe take a quick scan or exploration of your body. Notice if there are any places or spaces within that have tension or bring you discomfort. Direct your breath there. Allow your breath to be those pulsating fingers that bring calm and relaxation to that space within. Visualize your breath as it ebbs and flows through your body. Consider thinking about the relationship that you have with your breath. I'll silence my voice until it's time to bring us back. Breathing in, filling up and letting go. As you breathe in, again providing nourishment to all of those cells and organs within. And as you let go, you release things that are no longer needed in you, sending them back to Mother Earth so she can reclaim that and use it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Julia. Thank you for being a model of Black excellence. I'm so happy to have
That's a high bar now.
No, I'm happy to have a yoga studio owner on my show. Thank you so much for coming and spreading your light and sharing your story with us. And with that being said, namaste.
Ashe, namaste.
Ashe, namaste. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Tune in to the Perfect Prana Show on 88.1 FM WCRX, Saturdays at 10 a.m., Sundays at 9 a.m., or catch me on Apple and Spotify where I post extended versions. To keep up with me, follow me on Instagram at Consistently Kyah, consistently spelled with a K, Kyah spelled Kyah. Weekly Wellness Challenge. So last week I did Santosha, which is contentment. And for that challenge, I decided to practice gratitude. And of course, with the dandy old journal, I was like, let's get up and write down 3 things we're grateful for every single day as soon as we wake up. Did I do that? Yes, I did. And I like it. I really like it. Contentment, great. This week's challenge, tapas, which is discipline or austerity or burning enthusiasm or passion. Well, this is all about the fiery discipline. It's like a burning passion within. Doing things because, again, you're motivated. You have a goal. You want to do something. this week's weekly challenge. How are we going to ignite that fire in us, have that burning passion in us, that self-discipline? How are we going to practice that and observe that every day? Here's the weekly challenge. Every single morning that you wake up, if you don't wake up in the morning, fine, whatever. But within the first hour of waking up, set a timer for 1 minute and do jumping jacks for that entire minute. Don't stop. I'm just saying jumping jacks because it's like a general thing that everybody knows how to do. Get your heart rate up, get your blood pumping. It ignites that fire, you know, especially if you do it for a full minute. You get your blood flowing, you get your oxygen through your blood, and that's good to do within the first hour of waking up, especially if you wake up in the morning. And it just takes 1 minute to just change your day, change how you move throughout your day. But it doesn't have to be jumping jacks. Whatever little exercise you'd like to do for 1 minute that just gets your heart pumping, that gets your blood flow, that's enough. But, you know, the other day I got up in the morning and I did sun salutations in the morning, and I had a really good day that day. Versus mornings where I don't do that, and I might be dragging. But, you know, it's important to ignite that spark, ignite that fire, get a little pep in your step when you do stuff, move with purpose, especially at the start of your day. So I find that if most of my days are lagging and it's like doing this every single morning, coupled with some gratitude and some affirmations. I'm not saying that this is the answer to life, but I don't know what the answer to life is. But, you know, yeah, that's the weekly wellness challenge. Is just every morning, set the timer for 1 minute, get the blood flowing. If you don't know what to do some jumping jacks. If you want to do something else, then do push-ups or do sun salutations. If you know the sequence to sun salutations, just do as many as you can in 1 minute. Do burpees. Do as many as you can in 1 minute. Every single morning, within the first hour of waking up. It's that simple. That's the weekly wellness challenge. We're igniting fire within ourselves. We're entering spring with passion, with fire, with purpose, with pep in our step. And yeah. And that's the show. Before I go, I'd like to end with a quote. Of course. This quote is from Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the quote is, "Self-improvement, the basis for community development, because it is the improvement of each of us as human beings." And I like that quote because, you know, this is all about self-improvement. This entire show, I'm talking about, doing all these crazy challenges, trying to become a better person and, get up and have these great morning routines and do all these things to be better people, run, practice yoga, get your heart rate up, get your blood flowing, eat healthy, blah, 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 blah. All this self-improvement stuff, it is important because when we improve ourselves, we improve the community. When we improve ourselves, we improve the collective. When you become a better person, everybody you cross paths with becomes better. And it is just that simple. Be the change you want to see, right? Very, very cliche, and we love that. It's cliche for a reason. Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to The Perfect Prana Show on 88.1 FM WCRX, also available on Apple and Spotify, where I post extended versions. Follow me on Instagram to see what I'm up to. Sometimes I post the quotes. I post what I'm doing. I was just at a small business expo. And if you were on Instagram, you would have saw that. I was just doing a giveaway for a free yoga class. And if you followed me on Instagram, you would have saw that. So anyways, follow me on Instagram at consistently Kyah, consistently spelled with a K, Kyah spelled Kyah. It's been lovely talking with you guys. And with that being said, the light and darkness within me bows to the light and darkness within you. Namaste.